welcome to this episode of the Public Nuisance Podcast, brought to you from Killen Studios. Right here where you can get all your content done, from photo shoots, podcasts, set up, tailored for you. The lads, how are we? Of Stevie and Conal with us there. How are we, lads? Keep
Not
well?
too bad, Sean. Brilliant. Thanks for having us on, mate.
Thanks for making the trip to much beloved Ballyclare.
We've never been to Ballyclare. We came up here today and we were like, we just thought it was going to be like just an area like Ardoyne or something.
Yeah.
Just like
Travelled the length and breadth of Ireland, seen all the best spots, but like we can finally take Ballyclare off a bit.
I know there's a lot of people have come in and were like, what the fuck? I've never been up here until obviously the first episode maybe, or before we agreed to do the podcast. I came in and was like, fuck, first time Ballyclare, and is this it?
Obviously, us being from Belfast and you being from the West.
I know.
What the fuck's he recording up there for? Like?
I know a lot of people like. I would say obviously if I reach out to people to come on as guests, they're probably going, where is it? And then I tell them. But usually I try and get the answer yes or no first before I tell them. It's in Ballyclare. and then they're like, fuck, what are you doing up there? And I'm like, sure, listen.
Nah, but sure, that Killen Studios, what a spot. Like,
good
it's
spot, isn't it?
up here.
A lot of people who do come on end up going, fuck. Like, because a lot of the people I've got on, like, comedians and stuff like that, they're in the, like, they want to have podcasts, so they end up coming back to Ryan and giving Ryan a shout, and then Ryan starts fucking outgrowing me. And
that's it. It's the way things are going now, the way people are consume media and stuff, like the podcast game, isn't it? Like, it's only going to get bigger as well, I think.
Big time. This is your next step now. Stevie was a bit,
you were a bit
skeptical at the end of coming on.
I know. Well, I mean, thanks for having me on. This is actually my first proper podcast. And this guy here, my best mate, he's been there since, since school days. But me and him have worked together and loads of stuff over the years. And then I was saying to him about it, and he was like, you need to go on. And I was like, right, fuck it, we're going. And I was like, you come up, and then chatting to you, you're like, sure, Conal, you come on as well. So we're all chatting.
Yeah, like, see, when you're most scared and like you take that jump, that's when the good things happen.
The Conal, when you were down getting the coffee, I was like, I want to see when he does this, and he relaxes and he starts letting it flow. And then he watches it back, and it's good crack. Yeah. Fuck, I want to do more.
I know. Like, obviously I run Ireland Before You Die, Meanwhile in Ireland, and like both pages have like over 1 million followers.
Yeah.
But I usually, my face isn't on all the time, and I'm usually asked. People are like, I love the video you've done with like Kevy Forex or interviewing John Biddles. But I literally, all I ask is one or two questions and then let them let it out and say something. And the video does really well, but I'm not usually the one.
What one did you have first? What one did you start with? The main page, Meanwhile in Ireland, or was it?
So like I went to
Ireland
so when I was 18, I was like grew up and I was like, I'm done with Belfast, getting out of here. My sister was in university in England and I was like, right, I want to go away. So I was like, I thought I would never be back in Belfast. So I went to uni in England, and then when I was over in England, just chatting to so many English people who, like, they actually love the Irish. Like, I thought when being from here, going over there, they'd be like, oh, the Irish. They were like, oh, we love the Irish. And, they were so sound.
She did the feather ancestors. Catamel feather.
But everyone spoke so highly of Ireland, and I just became really proud to be Irish. And then around St. Paddy's Day, just over 10 years ago, I just started a Facebook page, Places to See in Ireland Before You Die, and didn't have any followers. It was just posting pictures of Ireland, and I didn't have any followers. I didn't want to share it with my mates and be like, can you follow my page? And there's no followers. I'm embarrassing. So I started messaging all these Irish pubs in New York, Chicago, because watch The Departed or any Irish American film. They love the Irish, so I just knew the Irish Americans are really passionate about Ireland. So I just started messaging all these pubs and like groups from America, and they were like, yeah, we love it. And shared the page, and like within a week I had 70,000 followers on the Places to See in Ireland Before You Die page. And then I was like, I had no money in uni. I was like, how do I make money? And I was looking up on YouTube. You can make money if you make a website and like put ads on it and people read the articles. Yeah. So then I didn't know how to make a website, and then watched this YouTube video how to make a website in 10 minutes, and about 17 minutes later I had this really poor 3-page website called IrelandBeforeYouDie.com, and then just
is it still going?
Yeah, they're still going well. Now we're on 700,000 followers. Just got thousands of articles, Places to See in Ireland. And then I've obviously launched the Irish Bucket List book there on Amazon, so it's doing really well. There's your signed copy.
I remember when it was popping up though, like, and you'd see people you know's face, you know, going on it and going viral and stuff. People are always, who the fuck's running that? Like, say, been best mates with Stevie for years. And then it wasn't until about 2 years later I found out it was actually him. I know. Probably sitting away basting at it in a dark room or something.
I know. I actually did.
It's like my big popped on it a few times, and sort of one of our mates. I think that was one of the ones that went big. Is you and one of our mates went to Thailand, and it was like Spot the Irish guys, you know, like the farmer's tan and all on them.
Birthday crisp.
And I was like, who is that posting that? And it fucking turned out it was him.
But the start, I as I said, like I was just post. I didn't want to put my face on it, and I didn't tell anyone about it. And then over time, I started telling people. I don't know. I was a bit. You don't know what's going on in your head sometimes. At the time, I was like, I don't want to tell anyone about it, and then everyone judge me. But then I had Ireland Before You Die, and then I was always I've always been a bit of an entrepreneur and just trying new things. And then I just started. I thought a funny page would be good, so I started Meanwhile in Ireland, and then that was just funny memes, and then ended up taking. There was a picture of you in like an art gallery. It was like Irish man was born 400 years ago or something.
It was one of them ones. It was like an old painting, and someone went down one day to the Ulster Museum and the picture looked a double of me, but it was 100 years ago. So I went down, got a picture beside it, and like this was years and years ago before like Instagram or any of that. There. It was blowing up, thousands of likes on Facebook, and then like it ended up on his page and stuff. And I was like, "Who the fuck is that? Like, where are they getting that from?" Like, but it turns out it was him in a dark room in England, not even in Ireland.
So now my face is out there. But the last few years, it was just the way things are going. You want to make more videos, and you have to put your face in it. Like people are reading less, and like I was happy enough being anonymous and writing these articles
behind the scenes.
Yeah, behind the scenes. But then just if you want to, I've sort of been like joking that avoiding a real job for years now. So like. That's the way it's going with podcasts and YouTube and videos. You have to people want to consume media, watching YouTube videos or just videos in long form.
Sorry to interrupt this episode, but I gotta tell you about my sponsor, That Praise Guy. Just looking there, it's Wednesday, the 16th of April, and they've done £48,227 in prizes today. Yes, one day, that amount of money. Get yourself onto their page, click the link, and get yourself in to win some big loot. Let's go. It's also good to get a bit of recognition for what you do. Do you know what I mean? If you start putting in, people start recognizing you, and then it's like I obviously watch that with John Biddles and stuff. A lot of people, I know John very well. He's a legend of a man. And I was drinking Biddles regularly. But a lot of people wouldn't even know who John Biddle was, but now they do, and I know he has that. People know what they expect before they even go, or what sort of personality he has, and that cheekiness of him. But they can sort of take it with a pinch of salt. If you know what I mean.
He loves the notoriety around it. Like he's like the pantomime villain. It's a bit like Karen's. I used to describe it as like Karen's Diner. You go in, and if you be cheeky to him or something, or you ask him something stupid, he goes into bad boy John, bad man John Biddles mode. But I was listening to the Whiskey and White podcast, and he was actually sent me it, and I was listening, and they had John Biddles on. I was like, this guy is a gold mine. And I went in.
You had your own experience of him as well, didn't you, with Tyre and
Oh yeah,
your mates were over from England. Fuck, what a story.
Oh yeah, so I had my Guinness Guru voted his Guinness the best Guinness in Belfast, and I had my mates over from England, my uni mates, and they were over, and I was like, I think we went to a Belfast Giants game, and then we were like, right, we'll go over. We'll go for a pint, best pint of Guinness in Belfast, and we walked in, and we got a round of drinks, and then I was like, right. And me and my missus, we went up to the bar, and we're like, right, I was getting around a Guinness, and she was getting around a Tia Maria's, and this is before I knew anything about the whole Biddles bar and grumpy barman and all this.
Baby Guinness, wasn't it?
And I was actually really insulted. So then, but anyway, I went up and I was like, right, here, can I get a round of Guinness? And my missus, she's gonna get a round of baby Guinness. And he goes, don't do baby Guinness. And I was like, What? My mates are over from England. They want an Irish shot. Irish shot? Nothing Irish about it. And
Tia Maria.
And then he goes, Tia Maria? Nah, that's not Irish. And I go, do you have a tamer? And he goes, yeah, but I'm not doing. I refuse to do a baby Guinness.
Oh,
that was the son. The son was like, I wasn't John. I was the son. And I was like, I couldn't believe how rude they were. But I think it's all a bit of a. They're like it's a bit of an act, but they're really nice guys. And then I interviewed him. The video like blew up, and it was like hundreds of thousands of views. And then I went around. Anytime I need content, I just go around, give John Biddles a microphone.
Let him waffle on, let him go.
I was talking to him
but I'm sure he sees loads too. I'm sure
he loves it. He messaged me off that he was doing well. What are we on now? But
he loves it.
He probably gets tortured off the back of it as well. Yeah. Like people trying to do the same as you're doing with him.
Yeah, someone commented the other day and was like under one of the posts, and they said for my 60th birthday, I went down and the hospitality was great. John's top lad, and John Biddles himself replied and said, I have what did he say?
Seen that. They have a reputation for don't be letting people know. Give him the game away, lad.
Yeah, said he's fucking squealing, letting people know the real side of him. But as I say, no, he's a brilliant fella, and like. He's very accommodating of me. Like if me and Derver in town with Charlie, he just goes, go up there, sit down, and he move people about and get you a seat. But it's good the way they have it running, Biddles. Like they have a wee system in place where you don't go up to a bar and stand. What do you want?
Best bars for
stand there, boom, and they bring it to you. Like it's class the way to do it. It's brilliant. But is that your favorite? Is that your best pint? Do you think? And
I've went to the best pints in Belfast for me is Biddles and then the Hercules Bar. A lot of people haven't went to the Hercules Bar.
Hercules I haven't had a Guinness, but see a pint of harp and a pint of harp in there. Oh, I was down one day. We were in years and years ago. We went to Liverpool. All lads. It was like fucking 20 of us went to Liverpool and we were on the rip. And I came back and I had tack. I was on a sport diploma in tack in Millfield. And at lunchtime, I went, fuck this, I'm going round for a pint. And I went to Hercules and had a pint of harp. And it's probably still this day, probably the nicest pint of harp I've ever had in my life. I ended up drinking 4 of them.
All them.
Half cut.
It's such an, that's it.
The horse racing bars seem to be
24/7 horse racing on, old men
with
the papers, and they're just looking, and then they're going into the bookies next door. And it's just everyone's over the age of 50. There's bars in the windows. It's not a glorious place. I recommend it to people, and they're like, why would you go in there? It's like the pint is like God's nectar. Like it's unbelievable.
Big Morning Star man as well.
That's what see when you're talking about the racing. I was in just by chance. Me and Dervla and the Tyre were in town on Cheltenham Gold Cup Day. And I was like, we'll get something to eat. And I just said, we'll go to the Morning Star. I've never been in there in my life for food. And I was like, come on, we'll go in. She was like, why? I was like, why not? Just something different. When we went in, the food was great and the place was packed.
It's a good bar in there.
With punters batting. And it was such a good atmosphere, like it was class.
See if horse racing's on, the Guinness is good.
It's going to be
flowing all day, like fucking right.
There's a guy in there, because they do a really good carvery. It's like like a lunch. You get a plate, and I think now it's up to maybe like £7 or £8, but it was it was like fill your plate. At one point a couple of years ago, it was like £5 or something, and you can get basically a Sunday dinner on like a Tuesday at lunchtime. Like every weekday, they just have this like buffet on. But there's this guy in there every day, and he just sits there with his glasses, and like he's planning all his bets for the day, and he just has pints are flowing. He doesn't even talk to anyone.
Yeah, they're just coming every couple of minutes.
That's all the odd dockets in his top pocket. And all, like.
People like that, if they had any, like they probably know every single jockey, every horse, every bit of form. They should just see if they were smart enough to have their own wee fucking like Punter's Gate or something. There's your man from down south now. He's like loaded. He's in private jets now. I was at a darts. I got invited to like darts in the Odyssey, and I was sitting with him, and I was like,
he's flying in the Cheltenham helicopters.
Crazy.
But see them old boys, the ones you're on about, the type of people you ask them for a tip and they say, don't eat yellow snow or something. Don't wipe your arse with a glass bottle or something like that there.
Yeah, exactly it. But it's cool, like,
won't give a game away.
I know, that's it. That's just Belfast humour, like old Belfast humour.
100%.
Ever see, know what I'm loving at the minute? Ever see on the graffiti, it's like Belfast sayings, and it's like, you're mad, fucking something like your mad does a school on their jammies, no shit like that. I love all that there. Carry on, it's good crack, like.
At the graffiti page, it's good. Like,
that's fucking brilliant. Some of the sayings here are brilliant.
We always talk about the Belfast dad humour as well. Listen to a few podcasts you talk about your dad, like me and Stevie always laugh.
We have some funny stories because we used to, our dads, like, and that's what I would say. A lot of like like my work ethic is coming from like a hard Belfast style.
100%,
Nothing's ever
yeah.
good enough. He's like,
Nah.
nah, he'll never tell you well done. He'll like sort of like like nod or something if it's or it was alright or something.
All right.
But tell a story about your dad and with your room. You said your room was a mess.
Yeah. So our house, like as you go down the stairs, like the doors are open, you can see under the bed,
Yeah.
like a 4-post bed. And I had a maid over staying one night, and this is primary school, but I met him recently, and he reminded me of it. And my dad was going down the stairs, and he says, "Conal, get down on that bed. It's like a fucking fruit market under there." And I looked down under the bed, and there was a single fucking apple sitting there. Everything blew out of proportion, but proper character. Like, and then Stevie, we were down in Cork there recently. Your dad,
yeah, so
because
this is how we get onto this topic of conversation, because I told him about the Cork, because my dad would like give you he would crack up about something, and I would be like, I would just think it's like not a big deal, but the odd time I'd ask my mum and dad, can I borrow the car, and there was a period where I didn't have a car, so I was borrowing their car, and I borrowed it in like 2018 to go do a wee road trip around Ireland with my mates, and we went camping and stuff for like 3 days, and then like about 4 years later, my car was getting fixed or something, and then
we went down for Christy.
And I was asking my dad, can I borrow the car to go down to Cork? He goes, "That car's never out of Cork." It was like 4 to 6 years later.
Hadn't even went down for the second time yet.
Hadn't even made it yet.
But he always joke. There's an ongoing joke Stevie was saying there about like getting a real job and stuff, and Stevie's dad's been on to him for years about getting a real job. Told him before, like, you get a real job like a window cleaner or something. That thing's never gonna last. Like, so business going strength to strength.
I know.
So, like,
I think like I went to uni and I studied law. My parents probably thought he's gonna go on and actually become a lawyer and have a really respectable career. And to be fair to them, they were probably had my best interest at heart, because we're like, "What are you doing? You're on making Facebook posts and all." Do you know what I mean? You spent 4 years in university and you're just posting about like the best pint of Guinness in like Cork or something.
The potential on social media.
And then
bigger picture.
But to be fair to them, now they're actually like quite
now
supportive.
you've made it.
Yeah,
now you've got
there was
a million followers.
There was years of torment, like, honestly, but they were just, I think any parent would be like, what are you doing? But I think it's like they didn't, like, they grew up in the era before the internet, and they didn't see the potential. And to be fair, like, no one really seen the potential. Like, one of the big things that I always got was, how do you make money from that? Like, you've got a Facebook page, and then I have to explain, well, basically anywhere that people look and there's eyeballs, people are looking at something, you can sell advertising space. And just having like a logo somewhere, or like with my website, you just signed up to like an ad platform, and then the more views you got, the more you paid. And with YouTube, you can just go on Google will pay you the more views you got. But people don't really know that. So my parents further, like, they're like, you spent all that time and money, and you've got this big student loan, and do you know what I mean? So they're giving me a bit of stick about that, but now they're actually are really supportive.
Whenever you bought your first house out of it, and your dad walked around, probably didn't say well done, but probably was a wee bit like,
fucking ladies that all along. Fucking ladies. My dad went years ago when I was saying about doing the diplomas in sports and tech. I left school. I done like lower sixth, upper sixth, got A levels and all, and then went to tech and done like no field tech. I was doing like a sport diploma and coaching, and after like 3 or 4 months, I got called on to the Irish team, the box, but I was like a number 2, and was down training every day in Dublin, so I had to go and stay in Dublin Tuesday to Thursday every week, or Tuesday to Friday, sorry. My dad didn't know about this, because he was going to work early in the morning and I was just going away and just laying it, but like it came to like June anyway, and I was like waiting on like everyone, the results would have been out for the first year for TAC basically. And we were driving the airport, but he was driving me down the bus. I had to get the bus to Dublin because I was going away to box to Austria. And he was like, "So when did you get the results?" And I went, "What results?" I didn't know, and he didn't know I wasn't going to TAC for like the last 6 months because I was in Dublin training. And I was like, "What results?" He's like, "The results from school, from TAC." And I went, "I haven't gone to TAC." He fucking your Christ the van. He's like, "What? What do you mean you haven't gone to TAC? You fucking stupid." I was like, been in Dublin training.
Uh,
He was like, what do you mean you've been in Dublin training? I was on funding. I was getting like fucking tax-free money. I was getting 12 grand from Dublin a year and like 8 grand from the north, from Sport NI. So Sport Ireland and Sport NI were paying me like 20 grand a year tax-free. And he was like, what do you mean? I'm fucking going to Dublin and getting paid. I'm on
you
funding.
seen that as if you were down
He
Dublin
was like,
partying
"Are
or
you
something?
fucking stupid?" I was like, what the fuck? He's like, I can't fucking believe this. And I was like sitting going, what the fuck is wrong with me? I want more money than him. And he was like, you fucking, I'll fucking speak to you when you get home. He dropped me off at like Glengall Street, the bus. Like, I'll fucking speak to you when you get home. I was like, fucking hell, what way is he getting on? This is what I've always wanted to do.
That's it,
And I'm
yeah.
on the Irish team now. And he was like, fucking stupid. And then, like, for years, I was still on funding, and then I won the Irish Elites. And I was like number 1 in Ireland, and I was going to World Championships, European Championships, and I was down with Paddy Barnes, McComb, and all, like basically living in Dublin. And he always in my ear, what about down there? Can I do like something down there? What are you doing? Like, you leave us alone. I'm on more money than you. He's like, I don't give a fuck. What can you? I was like 20.
Because you weren't at school doing your sums, he didn't
like,
see his right
thing. And
thing.
he just, I was
Has
like,
he
doesn't get
let it go yet?
Oh, he's had a good night. I went against
Just
sale. I've bought my gaff and I've.
Here, I have another cracker actually. So my dad, like, me and my missus were looking to get a car, a second-hand car years ago. It was about 5 years ago. And we were looking at this wee Mazda 2, you know, like it was a wee tiny car.
Yeah,
it was a wee black car. And it was a cracker. It was a wee, I don't really like big cars. I like, you know, being able to park anywhere.
Yeah.
And it suited us. And my dad goes, there's a guy at my work, he's selling a Passat estate. Here, have a look at it. And he'd show me a picture. It was like, it's a proper dad's car.
Looked like a
and it
hearse.
was like, you know, something he would like. And I was like, Daddy, we wouldn't drive it. He goes, that's a cracking car. There's not that many miles on it. You should go look at that.
Oh.
And then I was like, Daddy, we're going for the Mazda. So we got the Mazda, right? And we drove it for like probably 3 or 4 years. And there was never any bother in it, right? And then the ball joint went in one of the top of one of the wheels, and it was like it was a quick fix. Didn't do the garage, and it was like a very quick fix. It was like 150 quid or something. But I told him, probably 4 years later, after 4 or 5 years later, after he said you get the Passat, and I was like, oh, the ball joint's wet in that Mazda. He used to say, I told you should have got the Passat.
Aye, dads are mustard.
told
when
you
they're
so.
real cars, like,
It's fucking well.
that's, my dad sent me up to a boy in Lisburn one time. He's like, you need to get new tyres in that car, and he was like, cracking set of tyres he has for you. He bought them through the back doors, you know, on M1s. He was like, you'll go up and you'll wait till the place closes, meet him outside, and then, you know, slip him a 40 quid, he'll go in and do the job. And you get up to him, and your man put 2 tyres in the front, and he says, left them 2 back ones off. He was like, they're actually better than the ones I have for you. He's like, see, to be honest, mate, bought them tyres in the dark there the other night. Like, I said, who the fuck buys baldy tyres in the dark? But the same, my dad's saying to me, oh, they're cracking tyres.
He knows, he's putting so much trust into someone else and not trusting you.
It's never above the table, you know, it's never going to pay the guy. It's always like slipping through the back hand or something.
That's just Belfast for you, isn't it? Everything's like, oh, just throw him a couple of quid and that's it. I know this fella, they always know best, know what I mean? My dad was trying to get me a bad fucking, when I was staying in Dublin there a couple of years ago, me and Tyrone, actually, my dad sent me a big fucking, like a big old camper van. He's like, mate, Desi's selling this camper van, look, 4 grand he's looking for it. 4 grand for a camper van? Fuck me, what is it, a 2-man tent with wheels on it? He was like, no, won't see, I'll send you photos. He sent me photos of it. He's like, you'll never get that again, like, you'll never get fucking here. How about you're down there spending force in a hotel?
Hotel on wheels.
How was it?
Every time your flight gets cancelled, you get stuck somewhere. I told you to get that camper van.
He's like, oh, and then I said, fuck, I don't know. I'll say to Tron all about it. Tron was like, I'll be fucking class and all. And then Tron was actually toying with the idea of, we could do a podcast on that as well. Like,
right, in Throne like Max and Paddy's.
Max and Paddy, fuck on the road to nowhere. Fucking, and I was
that's
like,
me and you do, Stevie.
that would be a good one. You just get me
We've been
speakers
on a
and
few
just
road
get,
trips.
get it, like, get it going, get a wee camera set up, wee speakers, and get a wee, one
on
of
the
them
dash, yeah.
or you can get it in the back of one of them camper vans. You just pull in and just talk shit.
Take
for
a different vehicle to Cork for a change.
100% ball joints away and that fucks. Oh, fucking brilliant. But here, Cork is. You told me Sligo was your favourite place. Did you tell me?
I think Sligo.
You were saying it's underrated, but
it's
you
a-
said it's favourite. Is your
I
favourite?
would say it's one of my favourite counties because all the people there are really dead on. It's like one of those places you go, everyone seems really sound. You've got just a beautiful coastline.
Yeah.
Ben Bulben, like the mountain range. It's like
nice.
a flat top mountain range, very similar to the one in South Africa, and landscape's unique. People are nice.
Yeah.
And, all the pubs are class. It's just and in town, it's a beautiful wee town, Sligo town. But been all around Ireland, and the people, the West Coast are really friendly. The West Coast is probably
West
the
Coast
best
is best, isn't it?
for a
We
road
always
trip.
go like
Stunning,
Sligo's
isn't
just
it?
a hidden gem. I think people
Yeah.
don't rave about it enough. Everyone goes on about Galway and Cork. There's a lot of great places in Ireland, but I have a soft spot for Sligo.
Yeah, Galway's a great spot. Very touristy. We went to Dingle last year. It was powerful as well.
Yeah, it's
Dingle's
great.
amazing. Some drive like fuck's sake.
It's
I-
really
I
like
call
7
it the
hours or
Kingdom
something.
down there,
I
isn't
had
it?
an S3, Mike. I had like an Audi S3. Fucking cost me a fortune driving down there on petrol. Fuck me. 6 hour drive, 6.5 hour. I think maybe it took me all in, but fucking powerful
The
spot. when I
roads
get down
aren't
there.
magic round there.
Nah, I didn't wanna come home. Like it wasn't overly busy when we went. I think we went in September, and it was like it wasn't overly busy. It was like just nice. You know what I mean? But the food spots were unbelievable, which surprised me the most. Like the wee restaurants in it were fucking great.
I think that's what surprised a lot of people the most when they go to Ireland is like the food, because I think we're lucky here with the quality of the produce, like the good land and stuff like.
Good fucking good land,
Yeah.
and good meat, and all the rest of the potatoes and,
Uh,
and good fish. Can't beat that. But no, it's fucking like. Do you ever see sausages anywhere else? They're stinking. Do you ever get a sausage in England? They're stinking.
I know.
Not nice.
Something
Rotten.
about Irish sausages.
even
Aye,
over in,
Irish sausages
even
are
over
the
in
best.
Germany, I've been to Germany a few times.
Anywhere in
known
Europe,
for
they're like
sausages.
rubber. It's them fucking. They're
Aye.
like no sausages, boiled sausages in a jar.
Stinking,
That's what they're
yeah.
like, fucking stinking. But our sausages are the best in the world, I believe.
Yeah,
It's-
but I think that's like one of the things Ireland's doing well at the minute, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
food, obviously, being known for its music and the scenery and stuff like.
yeah,
but
but the food.
that's one thing that's on
the
the up.
Didn't
Even in Belfast here, like. It's
I know,
doing
great.
well.
No, like I had or two girls in our gym. One's from like Monaghan and one's from Galway, and we had this. I was coaching to them the other night, and we had this debate about like tea bags, and one loves Barry's tea and one loves Land's tea. And they were like, no, Lands. And then they had the Lands and Barry's tea debate. And I was like, Barry smokes the two of them. They're like, Barry? What the fuck's Barry? I was like, you've lived here for years. You don't know what Barry tea bags are.
Both of them
And they're
live
like,
up here.
people are so like passionate about their own, like what they. It's like I had this conversation. I can't remember if it was on the here, it was wherever it was, but it was like a couple weeks ago about Chinese. Did you ever see whenever you go, where do you get your Chinese from? They're like the
That's
one of the
it,
lads. They're
yeah.
like, oh, I get it from fucking Hong Kong College. You go, what? Hong Kong College is stinking. And they go, what? Fucking, they're so passionate. I go, you didn't cook it. Relax.
It's not that the
I
Hong
don't
Kong
like
cottage
it.
is stinking, too spicy in there, isn't
I
it?
love spicy grub, but
Do you?
I
Yeah.
love it. But I just think that.
But everyone's so tribal about it, aren't
Everyone-
they? Like, where they
That's
get
why
it
like,
from, yeah.
all like like the debates about Guinness, like all these things,
about to
like
say about
everyone
that,
gets
alright.
whatever anyone likes here, it becomes a debate.
it's
Where's
theirs.
the best
They're
Guinness?
passionate about it.
Is
Yeah.
Guinness the best out?
It's-
Chinese's.
Yeah, it's
But
like,
even we keep going on about Cork here, but that time we went down, like we were drinking Murphy's and Beamish, and like,
Aye.
you'll not get a drop of Guinness anywhere in Cork.
Beamish is
like,
great,
yeah.
but I like Beamish. Beamish is
Same,
lovely.
I prefer Murphy's, but like
Yeah.
don't drink Guinness anywhere down there.
Yeah.
Like they're tribal about it down there too. Like
But it's good. It's good we change for people too. 'Cause they're still getting stout, and then they're almost being forced to drink something else. Like
Yeah.
for a tourist to come, they're going to
That's
drink
it,
Guinness
yeah.
all over Ireland anyway. So
I
they're going
know.
to like Cork and being forced to didn't enough drink a Murphy's. If someone goes tell a bartender or like a barman in Cork, can you give me Guinness? Like an American, hey, can you give me a Guinness? Guinness? Oh God, have a Murphy's. Like what? What's a Murphy's? And then
it opens their mind,
it opens
doesn't
their mind,
it?
and I go, fuck, that was lovely. And they'll probably go to another county, further up the country, and be like, can I have a Murphy's? A Murphy's? What? We're at Yard Cork?
You couldn't get much Murphy's around here either. Like
Yeah, we're at Yard Cork, fucking.
as long as you're not drinking that, what do you call it, Ford's Larry Stout stuff, like that's out the window now,
That's
isn't it?
gone. That's fucking shit
Yeah.
anyway. That's dirt. Pure
Did
dirt.
you try it?
Tried one ton of it and just didn't like it anyway. It wasn't great.
What do
Did
you
you
reckon
drink
to it?
I actually didn't get around to trying it, and obviously
It's a corner now, isn't it?
McGregor, I've sort of went off, like a lot of people have really went off Conor McGregor for a long list of reasons, but I think I couldn't drink it that stout after.
What people are going to vote for? Who votes for him? Like, who is going to vote for him to go? Like,
Is he
Ma-
serious about
Yeah,
that?
he's
Putting
serious about
himself in the running?
he's trying to fucking like the country's going mad. You fucking Jerry Hutch. fucking non-gangster, bank robber, running for fucking a seat. You've Conor McGregor. What's going on? Like,
And then
everyone,
here,
it's like
I was listening to one the other day, that Frostbite boy, God.
he's
He
Rory
actually-
McSorley. He fucking thinks he's king of Ireland.
I know, but he actually has some things nailed down, like, with
He's
his
funny.
political
He's
perspective,
funny.
yeah.
He's
Hard
funny.
I think he's the best out of the three,
Yeah,
to be honest.
best of
He can
bad
have
bunch.
my ones.
He's a good lad. I think he's funny. I
is, yeah.
have like I was watching one of his clips the other day come up on TikTok, and it was like him saying he swam off the coast of somewhere, and it was like 11 kilometers long, and he was going over to this like castle off the coast of Ireland somewhere. I can't remember where it was. And these English boys were like hosting the podcast, and they were like, what they couldn't believe it. And then everyone was giving him stick underneath and saying he's a lying cunt. The coast guards came and got him like 1 kilometre offshore. He almost drowned, and he
Sure stories,
wasted
dolphins
so
saved
much.
them and all, wasn't there?
Dolphins and all dolphins and all this carry on. So people were like hating on him. From here, I know him. He's from the town, and he's a fucking scammer. And I was like, even if he's telling lies, it's a good story. It's funny. How can you not?
That's
how
it.
can
Don't
you not
let the
find
truth
humour in
get
it?
in the way of a bad story.
Exactly,
That's
That's
it,
what
that's
John
it.
Biddles always texts me. I
Oh.
was like, did that actually happen, John? And he's like, never let the truth get in the way of a good story.
That's it, yeah.
100%.
Always exaggerate, sprinkle a wee bit of something on top, even if
my
it is a true
dad's the
story,
worst
like.
for it. See, like, my wee lad I had my wee lad walking to Cranmore Park last week.
Yeah, I was
sunny
going to say
weather.
that about the peelers.
Oh, I says
watched
that.
that
He's like the cops.
Did you see it? No.
So I was laughing, and people were texting me who know me, like close to me and close to my family. They were like, "Fuck me, he definitely gets off from your dad." Because my dad would tell a story and then just go like a part of it will be true, and he'll just exaggerate the fucking life or the whole rest of it.
What'd you say to him? Are you going to get locked up? And he says, but I'd knock a peeler's head or something.
He says, I'll get you ice cream. And I says, well, have you got any money on you? And he says, no, I'll just smash the window and get the cone and grab the ice cream and give it to you. And I says, then you'll get arrested. He says, I'll get the cops and I'll just knock them out. But like, Dermot's man is like, Sean, he keeps saying there's the cops. There's the cops. And I says, that's because you can see them, and it's just like, oh, like that, like, why is he saying like the cops? There's the cops. There's the cops. I was like, I don't know. I'm his dad.
Yeah. Is there coming for you anytime you hear
He
a
keeps fucking
sirens or
trying to
anything?
take a
weighing them
seatbelt
up?
off in the car. I'm like, car, where's the cops? He goes, where? I'm like, take your seatbelt there, because he keeps trying to take his seatbelt off, so it's only way to keep him in his car seat. You know what I mean?
But there's a lot of fear mongering like that with kids, isn't there? You have to tell them stuff
I
like
have to
that.
tell him stuff.
It's like whenever you're walking through the shopping centre and it used to be, there's a man or that man's going
Aye.
to take you away, and then all of a sudden you're the fucking man now.
I
Like,
the man, I know. It's like, whenever I was a kid, it was like, there's a fucking big bad man down there if you're trying to run
That's
away.
it,
And
yeah.
when I do it to him, he doesn't care, but he doesn't care. Like yesterday in the town, we were walking through town, through Ann Street, and he wanted to go into a shop beside Dunn's. No, we're at, what do you call it? Well, it's beside Dunn's anyway, in the Dr. Martin shop, basically,
Aye.
on that corner. And he wouldn't leave. We came down Joy's entry and went up that street, and he wouldn't leave. And I was like, hang on. So he was squealing, kicking, so I just walked on. Me and Dervla walked on, and I stood outside the Dr. Martin shop. He must have been 25 metres down the street on his own, going, Daddy, squealing, Daddy. And I was just going, no. And he's like, come on. I was like, come on. He's like, I'm going to leave you. So I pretended to hide around the corner, and he just stood there, and I was watching through the window. And then
Didn't
these
give a
two
shit.
old ladies went over to him. I was like, you okay? And he was like, standing like that. And we're like, where's your mummy? Where's your daddy? And I was up and down going, fuck's sake, they're going to hang his kids on the bit on his own. And then he was just standing, ignoring them, looking up at me. And I was like, out there waving, and the girls wouldn't turn around. So I started getting a wee bit panicky, going, they're going to think I'm the worst dad in the world here. And then they turned around and they're looking for me, the kids' fucking parents. I was like, he's with me, just leave him, or he's alright. I can see him. And they were like, alright. They come up and they were Scottish. They were like, oh, fucking little bastard, he fucking. I was like, fuck, you look like you were going to give me shit, now you're giving them shit.
I was going to say, do you ever see,
You were down there talking about me to him, now you're up here talking to me.
do you ever see that Scottish video, and it's like the fella and the wee kids like pulling himself up, and the woman's like, that fella's going to steal your Jimmy, and he looks at her and he's like, no, I'm fucking no. He's like, no, I'm fucking no.
Scottish are so funny.
Oh,
Like
they're
the
funny.
kids, they're like they're honestly hilarious. Like
Do you ever see like there's like you see a text message or something in Scottish, like a Scottish humour page or something, you read it in a Scottish accent. It's funny as fuck, but their humour's fucking brilliant.
We were over there in Glasgow at the weekend, like the Celtic match. You get some characters over there.
Oh,
like,
big time. Like,
unbelievable.
did you say you live in Glasgow?
yes, so like I moved there. Like I was in between jobs. Well, I was working on a job in England after uni, and I was building websites and all, and then I ended up like I was in this job and I wasn't really enjoying it, and then I just seen I just Brendan Rodgers got the Celtic job, and then I was like, like lost in life, but I'm a big Celtic fan, and then I was like, what do I do next? And
the answer is,
and you can get
go and spend all money. What's in
I was
Celtic?
like, something magic's gonna happen here. This is 2016, and then I was like, you know what? I'll look for a few jobs up in Scotland, and I ended up applying, got the job, and then I bought a Celtic season ticket. Just moved up. I didn't really know anyone, but I was in
Newcastle. I sofa surfed in Glasgow for years. I used to be up every Saturday morning, like we'd some crack.
We lived there as well. We actually lived in Tyrone and that, and Paddy. We lived in Bothwell. It was fucking class where we lived in Bothwell, like. And then we moved to Holytown, which was like Motherwell. Fucking shithole over there, like, Jesus Christ.
But yeah,
it's rough, but it's got a certain je ne sais quoi about it.
It's class. I love it. I love it over there. It's very similar to Belfast. The people are very similar to Belfast.
Yeah,
but
I think the humour. I just love Scottish people. Like the closest, like Belfast and like the Glasgow area. Like we're just so similar.
The similarities are like the food's horrific over there. Like I have to say, the food
battered everything.
Just batter everything. Tons of fucking iron brew everywhere, and it's like I never really thought it was a thing, like the iron brew thing, until I moved over, and I was like, fuck me, it literally is everywhere. Like people just drink it flat out.
It's the only country in the world, I think, where like, is it McDonald's or something? They have iron brew
on tap.
Iron brew sells Coke or something, does it?
Or no, it's some. I can't remember the fact, but like a lot of the chains. Fast food chains have iron brew.
That's mad, isn't it? Like
beside Coke, and no other country in the world has that. Or
that's absolutely mad.
And it's more popular than Coke, I think.
Yeah, it's everywhere. Like I have said, my brother lived there as well, working for him, and he's like, oh, on there. I used to joke about this. It was like years before. He's like, oh, I was on there iron brew, lad, drinking them bottles of iron brew, like fuck. I said, why? You can get it here. You can get it done fast. He's like, I don't know, lad. Just a hang about it. Just keep drinking all this iron brew, lad.
Yeah,
big bottles of iron brew.
Product of your society, isn't it? Like,
that's exactly it.
When I lived there, I think it was 2016-17. They changed the recipe because there's so much sugar in it. So they were like they reduced the sugar and it's down to 63 calories or something, and but then everyone was panicking in Scotland. They were like, they're getting rid of the original flavour, and they were like, people
take it to the streets.
So like,
fuck you,
but no, like literally, there was people literally buying crates of iron brew, and as soon as the new flavour came out with the reduced calories. Like it was on people were selling Facebook Marketplace original iron brew can, for like £4 a can and all.
Jesus, that's it. Fucking flogging it. They've done that with Lucozade too, and there was a big fucking kick up about it. I think like the orange Lucozade. People, because I always remember throwing my clock going, that's fucking stinking. I used to be addicted to that shit, and I don't even like it because they've reduced the sugar in it. I was like, fucking doing your favour, lad.
She'd be
a bit grateful, like, here, you're just fucking, everyone's slandering it, and Scottish, like, they could do with fucking, they're all headers as it is, like, the less sugar, the better, you know what I mean? Fuck's sake, but, fucking, great city, like, nonetheless, like.
Glasgow, yeah, it's just, it's unbelievable, and like just bars are amazing.
It is like there's a big saying Glasgow that people make Glasgow, but it is true. Like absolute 100%. Characters. And
there's no like I've never ever had a nice Guinness in Glasgow. I've never really heard of anywhere like going like no one's ever actually told me to go here for Guinness. I just feel like the drinks, man.
Guinness in Ireland, I say like it's very difficult to get a back Guinness in Ireland, but outside of Ireland, it doesn't travel well. Like I knew a guy who was quite close to like Guinness, and he works in the drinks industry, and he was saying outside of Ireland they pressurize the kegs differently. Basically in Ireland, Guinness has to be drank within like 1 month, so the keg needs to be drank, and also Guinness have official like basically Guinness inspectors to go around and make sure it's poured correctly and check everything about it, the setup. Whereas when outside of Ireland, it's not treated as well, and it's not inspected, and the Guinness basically can be drank up to 3 months after. I think Guinness is a bit like bread, like it goes off quickly, and if it's not poured correct, all these wee things add up to a perfect pint.
See, it's supposed to be massive in Africa, isn't it?
Yeah, so Nigeria is actually the #1 Guinness drink country in the world. I think like 1930s, the British started exporting Guinness to Nigeria, and the Nigerians just loved it, and then they started exporting more. And then the first Guinness brewery outside of Ireland and the UK is actually in Nigeria. And yeah, it's just mental. But the Guinness they drink over there is foreign export, I think they call it. It's like a 7. They've made it like stronger. It's apparently it's spicier as well. I haven't actually tried it.
I worked in the Trinity Lodge years ago when I was working at a Christian, and we run out of Guinness glasses and everything. My first experience was going like, what the fuck? Why are they drinking so much Guinness? And someone in the bar was like, oh, sure, that's one of the most popular the most popular drink over there.
You love your Guinnesses,
like,
don't
what?
you?
No, he's Guinnesses. We run out of glasses. I was like, there's no fucking glass left. Had to fucking bring in a glass clicker, just keep sweeping the floor. They were just sculling Guinness all day. And there was no slowing down. Like, it was like, this went on from 2 to fucking... There's like, if there's a Christmas at 2 o'clock, you probably pop up at 3:30, 4. He's at the door 2 o'clock. Pints of Guinness, let's go. Boom. And it was just non-stop all day. I don't think there was another drink ordered. Just Guinness. Women and all, sculling pints of Guinness. I was like, fuck. Couldn't keep up with it. The glasses were running out and everything. Fucking heavy, but...
What would your pint be? Do you drink Guinness?
I drink Guinness or Harp. Or whiskey.
Harp's like sort of a dying beer now. We used to get it everywhere.
I love Harp. Harp's great.
Yeah.
See if you go and get it, like Davids. The Davids do a really nice pint of Harp. They actually do a really nice pint of Guinness too. Davids bar. It's a well-run bar. Hartley's.
We used to live away though. Like that's one of the things you look forward to coming home to. Like a pint of Harp.
Yeah, a pint of Harp.
You get Guinness over. You don't get Harp anywhere.
I was on my honeymoon in Sorrento. Walked down, big Harp sign outside a wee Irish bar on the main street. I was like, there's no way they sell Harp. Walked in, fucking Harp.
They did
sold Harp.
Yeah.
I walked up my store. I was like, fuck me, where'd you get it? This apprentice Harp in Sorrento sitting sculling.
Proper Harp as well. It wasn't just a different beer.
Oh, it was proper Harp. Like,
yeah.
fucking, I was sculling about it. Wasn't as nice as back here, but it was a Harp. You can tell it's Harp. I drank Harp regularly. Like, if I get a case of beer, it's a case of Harp. You know what I mean? But, yeah, fucking, I wouldn't get a case of Guinness. I had the surge over, like, lockdown and stuff, and they were great for, like, for lockdown, and I actually still have a brand new one that I hadn't even opened yet because I bought it from a mate and I never ever give it to him. So fuck him, Stevie. You're not getting it. I'm taking it. Bring back the. But they're the ticket. Like they were the fucking for lockdown. They were great. Great shit. And I was having bingo and fucking Mona Drive and Turf Lodge. I had bingo going on. All the ones 42. Turf Lodge bingo. I bought a keg off Paddy Austin or a pump and a cooler box and gas and all this carry on. I bought all the gear for paint's sake, so all the bars were closed and I was pulling paints in my street and running bingo. It was fucking like that. We called the second turf, so it was
Big
great.
house bar on the go.
I fucking right. It was big queue down my street.
COVID was such a weird time. Like everyone was like
bring
alcoholics.
It back. Bring it back. I fucking missed it. I was fucking lying in my house, black 4 a.m, drinking whiskey, listening to Paolo Nutini. It was fucking nowhere to be the next day.
Remember the start of lockdown? Like everyone was loving us. This is great. You don't have to work, and everyone's chilling. Like it was a week where like I could get used to this, and then everyone started going madder and madder.
Yeah, and let's need to stop.
It goes in waves. You get bored of it, and then like you want it back, sort of thing.
Some people haven't recovered from like their lifestyle.
I look back at it with rose tinted glasses, but it definitely wasn't as good as it was.
People think like, see in our gym, see the amount of people we've like reached out to, like, and they're like, say like we do sales calls or whatever for mods. They're like, I haven't done anything from before COVID. Like I just can't. Like, and they can't. They've just lost their own themselves. They can't get back into society. They've lost all this fucking like their old outgoing selves. They've probably developed just a wee habit of being a hermit, not going out. Oh, people have just lost them, like completely lost them. It's sad as well. Like the people.
Not good for your confidence. See if you work. Some people work from home all the time, and then they're just sort of it's not your social skills.
Isolation and stuff.
See, I had the right idea. I never stuck to any of the rules. I was out and about everywhere. My dad has pigeons, right? He's had pigeons from he was 16, racing pigeons his whole life. So he has pigeon lung, right? He's fucked, his lungs are fucked. He can't even walk 100 metres. And he used to go to me every day, you're going to fucking kill me. You're fucking out here everywhere, fucking whatever you're doing, fucking gallivanting around the area.
Pigeon lung's going to kill you.
I'm like, what? COVID? That's fucking your lungs, pigeons? You've had pigeons from your 16.
What is it, the lungs and the pigeons?
Because when you're in the pigeon sheds your whole life, like all the bacteria from the like and the dust and the bacteria and the shit and all like that, you're just inhaling all that shit.
And does he race them and all?
He's raced them his whole life.
How does that work? I've always wondered how they race pigeons. Like,
so you have like they're trained. Like
Yeah.
like he rears them from they're young. Obviously they lay eggs, and then he rears them up, and then he flies them out in a flock, like the younger pigeons with the more experienced pigeons, and then they fly around. But they always come back to his shed. So you train them up that way, and then you start when you're training them. You put them in a pigeon hopper, and then he would bring them down to like Ross Trevor, let them off, drive home, and then they'll fly straight
Got
back
a good
to our
sense
house.
of direction.
Yeah, they always go back to where they come from, and then to be hungry. So he would like there's a method to feeding them. So you have to feed them at a certain time. So like when you're flying them, they're still a bit hungry because they're always going to fly back to get fed. That's the reason they want to get home, to get fed and get water. So you let them fly almost hungry, and then dig them in, and then that's your way of getting them back into the shed. So you throw pigeon corn into the shed, and then they'll fly off the roof and into the shed to get fed. And you lock them up.
Unbelievable.
But they've all got a ring on them, a pigeon ring on their foot, and there's your number, and that's how you're able to clock it. So basically, he won like the France Derby. So they went to France. They go on a boat. They go on
the pigeon France Derby.
They go to here. They get on.
Do they sit there and then they can track? Can they track them on a map in the club or something? There's a pigeon club, isn't there?
There's loads of pigeon clubs. There's one in Twinbrook. There was one in Avey. One in Grosvenor. There's loads of pigeon clubs. They're all over Belfast, like, and they all go to the same race, but they represent different clubs. So like, they go to, say for example, they went to France. They all get let off at the same time, and it's just whoever gets home first. But some houses are further away than others. So like, let's say for example, my dad lives in Turf Lodge and someone lives in Ballysillen. It'll fly the turf. They try and they go by distance and average the pace of the pigeon. So they'll take that off and give it. Everyone gets a fair average, so it's fair. And then if you win, then fuck. But pigeons sell for like 40 grand now.
I was going to say, did your dad ever sell any to make Tyson?
He never did. Like, I know he was here.
Make Tyson come over, bought pigeons in the Falls Road now.
But
he's mad pigeon race.
There's big hang. Like, there's
pigeons.
I love your pigeons. But it's a big thing. Like with pigeons, is like Liverpool's very popular for pigeons as well. Scousers are they're well into it.
Must be a real working class thing.
It's a real working class thing, and even Americans. Ever see in the old American films, they out there to clap. They're tipplers. No, like tipplers. There's two different types of pigeons. Like tipplers fly high. Whoever can stay in the sky the longest and fly the highest, and then there's ones that fly for distance.
Right.
So like Americans, even in like the ghetto in America, they were shaping that they're clapping the pigeons and
that makes sense with Mike Tyson. And all,
like, so that's why it is. It's a real working class thing. But like they fought the proper like they're like my dad's given his whole life that basically to pigeons, and he's fucking slapping me about fucking COVID. He says, if you ever raised pigeons your whole life, you wouldn't have pigeon long and you'd be alright. And then it's just, as I say, I just done my own thing over COVID. And then
taking over the family dynasty then?
I would have been the only one that sort of helped out and looked after him. And he went away to Donegal and all that. I got the pigeons in for him. All my other brothers and
taking pigeons for a walk.
I walked down the street. Pigeon lead. Oh, fuck. But my wee lad, he loves him. But Dervla's man is like, John, I have a video on my phone. My dad gives him a wee small, like, wee chick. It's only like a wee newborn pigeon, and he has it in his hand. He's like, I'll hold it. And he goes, can I fly? And he just does that and fucking it's a duck. My dad's like, fuck. But it was okay, the pigeon, like, but
I seen this TikTok video and it went viral. I was like, have you ever seen a baby pigeon? But it's very this guy explained it. It's very unlikely because when they ever leave the net, because they're in the nest, like they're basically nearly fully grown. Yeah, like no one's ever seen it. You've obviously seen
yellow one. They're yellow. They're like the wee yellow Easter chicks you see on an Easter egg. That's what they're like. Then wee yellow fake things you see. That's just what they look like. Wee yellow things, wee bally fucking yellow fur, and they're like that size. And then, like you say, that they're always in the nest, the pigeon, but because they're my dad's and they're in his shed, he can just lift them out whenever he wants. You know what I mean? So
is that one of them things, like, if you hadn't been a boxer, you'd be a pigeon racer?
Pigeon man, I standing fucking up in the pigeon club in Twinbrook, smoking fags, drinking pints.
If you hadn't been a boxer, why would you be a virgin?
Virgin, what do you call him? Crouch says
Peter
Crouch
Crouch.
says that's class. That's a classic. Like fucking that thing of him going about the meme. Never see the light.
Jesus! It was like R.I.P. Peter Crouch. That one. You're reading it like a light and it's wrapped up.
A floodlight. Never see the big tall floodlights.
Yeah,
They're all carrying it. Or like they're pushing it on a hang, and it's a big long hang. We're like wrapped in like fucking rubber or plastic or something to keep it from getting wet. And everyone's Peter Crouch is he's getting stretchered off the pitch, and he keeps like writing saying, "Oh, fuck's sake, my family are getting worried about me." But for the will you please stop showing it? It's not me.
He's so funny, isn't he?
He's brilliant. So he
You're
is.
sitting here with meme loyalty though, like royalty. Sorry.
He someone was telling me, like Convy are playing like a Premier League Legends club, and he's like, or the Premier League Legends, so Convy from Belfast, T with me, I think Shane Tor or something, they're going to do like a charity match, and I think one of the Convy representatives emailed Peter Crouch's team or his management, say we were coming and we're looking at 100 grand.
100
I said,
grand.
100 grand, he didn't get that a week playing for
gonna
Liverpool.
say he
He's
didn't
looking
get
for
that
one
when he
match,
was
fuck's
playing,
sake. That's fucking crazy. That's where you want to get to in life. 100 grand. You can go there and testing the Guinness, like there's the Guinness guru. You're going around and testing different pubs for 100. Give me 100 grand. I'll test your Guinness. Fuck me, I'd be some life to live.
I didn't near cover my
job.
court case with the WWE.
I know. What about that? What's going on here? Where are you at now? Of it? Is it like?
It's just one of them things. Like you can't take knickers off a bar horses and say it. You know what I mean? You don't know.
No, first, give some context with your business and stuff.
So basically, like as Stevie's saying, he was making websites and whatever, and like I've always been into like the more artistic side of it, the graphic design and that. So helped him out making the websites and designing his merchandise and stuff. But talking about lockdown there, as wrestling was the only sport that didn't stop.
Yeah.
So I was like, what can I do here, sort of thing. So like new wrestling T-shirts were big, and like football tops these days, like all the old ones are selling for a fortune. It was the same
retro
thing.
ones.
And I was like, I could probably replicate a few of them myself, like so. Done it and made a website, Wrestling T Customs, and that was great. And had the ads up and whatever, like this big anticipated drop. Sold a couple of wrestling T-shirts. I was like, fuck, is that the sort of money you can make at this? It actually went really well. And this is the first week. I went on the Monday, to check the orders and that, and the website was completely gone. I was like, what the fuck? So I'd already had a few extra designs, in lieu there. And I went on the emails, and the email was like shut down by WWE intellectual property. And they were like, you try that again, you'd be in big trouble. Basically, like a slap in the wrist sort of thing. So that was fine, but it was the Undertaker's last match the next week.
Couldn't hold back. Couldn't hold back.
Too much opportunity in it. Still had the website domain and stuff, so I was like, I already had 4 Undertaker designs done. I'm laughing at it now, it seems so stupid. But so launched the website, done the whole thing all over again. That was great. Like, load of money in, load of orders in. It was a great weekend. Same thing, went on the Monday to check the orders, and the website was down. And at the top of the email, it was WWE intellectual property, and it just says, right, let's try this again. Basically a cease and desist letter, but it was for 100. They're trying to do this for 110 grand per design. I think I'd done 8, and they say like it made good money on it, but like I'm not talking thousands or anything. It was just a couple of extra quid in the skyrocket sort of thing.
Fuck's sake.
I was one of them ones that was dodging it. As I was saying, like can't take knickers off a bar. If you don't have that money sitting there, what are you gonna do?
Exactly,
but it's been one of them things ongoing. I get the odd email in the box, the odd time.
He just
it up,
he just took the back burner.
Under a table, like, I mean, see, to be honest, if you
how far are they gonna go with, like, if you don't have the money? You know what I mean?
Like, just think of here in wee old Belfast, like you're untouchable sort of
I
thing.
know,
Like,
that's exactly.
I suppose you are in a way. Do you know what I mean?
We're the same, right? Fucking we're
We've all
mates.
brass necks in a way, I suppose. Like,
fucking right. Just grind it out, and then the worst, like, it happened to me with like penalty points and all. Like, having to
That's
like,
it,
I'm going, fuck, I'll just hold out, and then it ends up. Sometimes it like you be optimistic and it works in your favour. A few things have worked in my favour. I'm like, fuck me, aren't I dodge off
if you
them?
bury the head deep enough, like, it'll all pass.
Yeah, then
sort
we
of thing,
find like the toll, the M50 toll in Dublin, I must have had about fucking 40 grand that at the minute, because I've been driving up and down there from I was 18 from my like to now, and I haven't never paid it ever in my life. and I still get letters to the house. I'm not paying that.
See
But
down
it's like,
south if you don't pay it.
One day I'm gonna end up fucking. So one day Ireland's gonna become a United Ireland, and they're just gonna come up, wrap my head, and go, "You owe us a fucking fortune." I'm gonna go.
Vince McMahon's waiting there. I get myself together. And he's gonna come take my house.
I'm gonna wait till you make it. Just give him his time. He's got good ideas, and he looks like he's got a bright future.
But I chanced it afterwards. I was like, is it really that much of a threat to us? You know, if it is that much of a threat to us, like, wouldn't mind the graphic design job. You know, 100%. Merch, like,
fucking right.
Nothing ever came of it.
That's what happened with Nick. Did you ever read the book Shoe Dog? Your man who owns Nick,
Phil
Knight. He was like, in that book, I was reading it, and one of the best books I've ever read. It was class. He like, when he started designing and going really well with his shoes, he was like, he opened like it was his first 2 big like things in China, like massive big warehouses where we're making the shoes, and then like 2 months later he seen someone on the track wearing these Nike trainers. He's like, they're not mine. I've never made that colorway or that design. So we went over and approached the guy. I was like, where did you get these? Like, I got them as a gift. My girlfriend got them from a stall down the street. And he was like, fuck, that sounds like something nice to do, because he used to do stalls.
Yeah. They're selling them out of cardboard.
Selling them out of fucking but then someone else was selling them from another warehouse in China. They were fakes, replicas. And he was like, what the fuck? They're unbelievable. Where did you get these from? He's like, I just ordered them from like a hang in China. So he contacted, he actually got on a flight and flew to China and brought the shoes with him. He said he actually gave your mom money for the shoes, like the full price. He's like, say they were like $70. He gave him like $100 because that's how much the full price ones that he was selling were. So he went to China or something, and then found out where his warehouse was, and approached him. Was like, who made these? They're mine. And I was like, copyright, this is my fucking brand. And we're like, oh. So he's like, look, I'm not gonna take legal action, but you work for me now. You work for me. And just literally give them a contract, and you work for me now, because they're that good. They're like, the fakes are that good, and they're a fucking quality design. You work for me now. And
that's what they say though, isn't it? Imitation's the biggest sign of flattery or whatever.
Yeah, 100%. That's your way. That's just warming up the WWE.
I'd say I still do, like, bootleg t-shirts and stuff, you know, merch and all that there.
It's good. Like, see, no, the only thing we're missing, like, but I suppose we're not in the way, like, but do you ever see, like, when you go to Croke Park and stuff for concerts, there's like wee stalls set up and all, and there's people selling merch and shit like that there. Like, we were walking, even like drink, we were walking to a Coldplay concert, and there's all these wee houses were selling buckets of beer for like fucking 25 quid for 4 bottles of fucking Corona.
See, whenever you go to All Ireland and all, like, they're all like making a mint.
If we had that here, you would just have to set a wee stall up and replicate the merch and just be like,
that's it. Yeah, you'll see me outside the Odyssey soon here next time WWE are in town.
Fucking right. Get the fucking get the Undertaker back. Get him back just for one last gig, just for me. Just for me. We've still got these ones in production.
You get any merch? He can sort you out.
I know, but we're just talking about this beforehand, the Public Nuisance merch too.
Sure, your next fight, I'll be selling them outside.
You owe me money.
You owe me money, dickhead. You owe me a tenner, dickhead. Darnell.
Would you be raging if someone had your face and was like making loads of money outside one of your fights?
Nah. I wouldn't care. Like, I'm happy for everyone to make
it.
Spread the brand.
Well, I'd just say, give me 10%. We'll call it quits. But do you know what? See, like years ago, O'Neill's made a T-shirt with my face on it. I didn't know. They never ever told me they were doing it, and I couldn't do nothing about it because Irish amateur boxing
had the image rates.
They have the image rates for any fighters, but they have they still sell it. In fact, I was doing a 10k run in Belfast on St. Paddy's Day, and there was someone approached me with that same tap on. He was like, there's me, it's me on that tap. And he was laughing, but he knew who it was because it's a boxing t-shirt. It's an Irish boxing t-shirt, but it's like, it's me on it, like. And I contacted O'Neill's and said, that's me on that tap. Like, I was never told about this. I'm like, yeah, we have image rates, the Irish amateur boxing. So
You've never seen a penny.
I said, send me a tab at least. So he sent me a tab. Never wore it. Like, I don't even know where it is, to be honest with you. But like, I brought it to New York, I think, a load of years ago, and war over there and never seen it again. So I'm New York's probably on the bit we're on, put it that way.
We've done merch for a few people, like a few characters about Belfast.
Yeah, we launched Jelvis Pelvis'
Oh,
merch
Jelvis.
like.
Oh, jeez, that's a story in itself. Like,
Because he was like going viral on TikTok. This was a couple of years ago, and like there was a period where like he like hundreds of thousands of views. All his videos were doing really well.
but where our office was in town, where me and Stevie were working out of, do you know where Starbucks is in
Yeah.
Belfast? We were working in the office next door there, so like all you heard all day was
Jelvis.
Jelvis Pals dulcet tones coming through.
And it was like an ongoing joke in the office. It was like Suspicious Minds. Many times it's the fourth time that you would sing about the same 5 songs, but when you're in an office listening to these guys,
repeat.
it's constant, and then everyone in the office is like, oh, here we go again. But you were in, and we were basically, me, Mile in Ireland, my meme page, we were trying to like monetize it in different ways, and we were like working out, well, what could we do? We'll launch like some merch and do like funny Irish t-shirts. And then you just had the idea, and you were like, imagine selling Jelvis Pals merch. It would be so random.
Massive,
and
like
mad.
he was like
I
40,000
get
followers.
serious
and all,
reach, like, yeah.
You just mocked up a design, and you were like, look at this. And I was like, that is unbelievable. And you were like, I just messaged him on Instagram, and I was like, you in town today? Would like to talk about maybe doing a merch deal. And then he was like, yes, in Costa. And I was like, what,
That
right
day
now?
we
And he
went-
was like, yeah, it was round the corner.
Yeah,
So
that
me and
day
him
we
walked
went down to meet
round.
him. Oh, jeez. What was he like?
We walked in, and we'd never met him before, and we just wanted to approach him about it. We'll sell your merch. Basically, all I wanted to say to him was, we'll sell your merch, and any of the profits, like, we'll sort everything out. Any sales we get, 50-50 split of the profits. But for each t-shirt, you'd be talking, like, you might make, like, £5 or £8 a t-shirt, and then half that with him.
It sold well, like better than you'd expect. But see, that day we went down to meet him, like the guy's obviously, it's well documented. You know, he's a caffeine addict. He'd load of empty tins of Lucozade and all in the bag, and like he was a coffee deep.
Monster
And
and
Stevie says to him, "Do you want another one of them?" Do you know, he just finished one of them big mugs that you get.
Fuck me,
He's
I
like,
cost
"Oh,
a big fucking...
He just finished a
inhaled
large
it.
latte, and I
Yeah.
go, we're going to get a coffee here. Do you want a latte? Do you want a coffee? And he was like, I was just being polite. I didn't think he would actually say yeah. And he was like, yeah, another large latte. And literally, we were chatting away. Within 5 minutes, it was necked.
Drank.
Jeez,
And then
Martin.
I was like, do you want another one? And he was like, aye.
But he was telling us like
Bless the
he'd been
fuck.
kicked out of his accommodation and stuff, do you know, and like his buskins, his only source of income. He's going through a rough time. Stevie had me with a laptop. He had the girl from marketing for the business, and obviously presenting him this line of merch that he was going to get. Stevie was saying, you need to do absolutely no work for it. We'll market it for you. We'll sell it to the website, and you'll get 50% of everything. Obviously, he snapped his hand off, but we came out of the meeting after, and Stevie looked at me and he went, I'm surprised he said yeah.
You could have just paid him a coffee. The coffee beans.
No,
Fuck
but
me.
he was dead on.
Aye,
He
he's
was
dead on.
good crack to work with and
Here,
stuff. Like, and
I seen a
his
thing
merch
the other
did
day
actually sell
where he
pretty
said
well,
he's
like.
retired, and then he came back saying, and then actually people want me to be Jelvis. He
Mate,
put up the
he
video.
put on it. So
Stevie
you
got-
said I was talking to it in the Whiskey Mate podcast, right? Run the Meanwhile in Ireland meme page, and Jelvis, he's like, he put up a post and he was like, I'm never wearing that white suit again for anyone. I'm done with Elvis and all. You'll never see me as Jelvis again. So Jelvis is the alter ego, not him. He's
Yeah.
called Jordan. So I was like, so I put a post up, wrote an article, and it was like, the article clickbaity, breaking Jelvis Pelvis is
I've
dead.
seen that.
And then, but if you read the
All the
article,
Belfast panicking.
it says Jelvis Pelvis
R.I.P.
is dead, and then it goes,
Can I have a big white coffin?
yeah. So it says, and like in the article, the article's still online. It's like, but the second line is like, before you like drop your coffee, Jordan, the guy who is the
still
busker,
alive.
he's alive. But
Jelvis, the
but
actual alter
Jelvis
ego.
is the stage, the alter ego is actually technically dead,
He's
no
gone.
longer. So, but it was a bit clickbaity and all. But I put it up.
It was clickbait.
It was
Like,
clickbait.
This was clickbait.
But that's just
It
social
was
media.
just complete
And
clickbait.
everyone was losing their minds. Like, this is disgusting. This is what is this page doing and all? And I was like, have you read the article? It's a satire page. We take the piss out of people sometimes. And he even accepted the collaborator tag, and he was he's like, oh, I'm obviously not dead, haha. And he was
Yeah.
involved in the joke.
No
But
such
some
thing
people
as
are
bad publicity.
some
Ah,
people are like,
exactly it.
unfollow.
Oh, people are sad. Like, do you get much like backlash from anything you do? Like, I was just like, is that-
Weirdly, like there's obviously I took the piss out of McGregor recently for a few things, but some things you put out and you're like, you don't think anyone is gonna even like argue with you, and there's people who would like argue with a brick wall in an empty
there's
room,
fucking-
and people are like, he's making a point. The McGregor stuff, he's like, he's making a point about Ireland, and I was like, this. I don't like McGregor. Full stop. It's not
Yeah.
about his points or anything. It's just I don't think he's a nice guy. Like, and I'm taking the piss out of him. And people like you take the piss out of him. And people get defensive. But yeah, because I don't put my face on it that much. I don't get too much flack. But you always get bad comments.
You always get people who just fucking sit and just want to argue or slobber. And
You call yourself a public nuisance. I was joking with Stevie. He's a real public nuisance.
the Republic
Torturing people across the country.
fucking right. People
Rest in peace, Jarvis.
Rest in peace, Dallas. He made a thing, sent him back.
I mean, 2 days later after that, he's wearing the white suit again. I was
He's
like,
back.
so
He said, I'm back. And then people are like saying, you just be who you want to be and all. Like, don't be doing anything for anyone else. Because he's saying, well, it seems like everybody wants me just to be it, so we'll give the people what they want. And Jarvis is back.
He
And
lost
like,
the lesson Jamie
fuck
Bryson
me,
did in hunger stick.
It's like fucking fuck exactly. He just like couldn't. He probably what would he have done? Like nothing else would have worked.
No.
He's Jarvis.
I
That's
think
it.
people do love Jarvis. I think, to be fair, I think about this, about like, do you ever see bands that have been around for like 30 years and they're playing the same songs?
Yeah.
Like, I get bored of stuff very quickly. I have no idea what they go through. I know Van Morrison, he refuses to play a lot of his songs because he just does his own thing. But I think, like, I mean, if you're singing Elvis songs every day, you would get bored. I'm sure he just.
But he started doing
throws
that
up the
thing,
head.
didn't he, where he went in the singing lessons and then he started singing other songs like
Yeah.
Elvis would, and I thought that was pretty good. Like, you know,
Yeah.
that's still within the niche for him.
Still
like,
there.
He's a nice guy, but
Fits
like
the brand.
he's known for that. And if
Yeah.
you try and change away from that, you know.
He's some fucking commitment to come up here, Belfast, hail, rain or snow, freezing. But where's he? Is he? He's not from
Strabane,
Strabane,
That's
huh?
why we loved him, because like we were like, because it was literally raining outside and we were in the office, and like he was just giving it, he was just going for it, like
Stacks
suspicious
every day,
minds,
right?
and he was like shaking his
Pumping the
pelvis and
ground and
all.
all.
How do you
And then
get
we were
that,
like, fair play to him, like he works harder than anyone. Like,
serious amount of caffeine in there.
Yeah.
Just fucking.
But he's like Belfast full of him, you know yourself, like absolute characters, and like that
He's
is what makes a
the
place.
adopted
Like.
son of Belfast. They
Yeah.
always have that wee characters from Belfast who always like stand out and everyone knows. Like, remember the nun? She's went off the scene now to the nun.
I think someone told me she got sectioned there or something.
I used to see her every morning at the bottom of. I live in the Ormo, and I used to cut across the Ravenhill Road every morning, waving some like Christian crusade
I
flag.
seen her on the top. Know where the Davis Tower is.
I
put a
seen your
up
video.
saying
It
it's
went
haunted.
viral, didn't it?
Oh, it went viral. I says, fuck me, Falls Road's haunted. She's just standing on top of a hang going, ooh. And I'm like, fuck me. And then people
You
were
need
writing
people
to
that got
me.
in the words.
People were slabbering at me going, oh, she's obviously
You shouldn't
fucking.
be encouraging
But
it.
I don't reply to anyone who slabbers or even gives me zip. I just be like, I don't even reply to most people. I just like it. Even if it's bad, I just like it. But then people started defending me, going, for fuck's sake, she's been up. She's been assessed, and the psychologist says there's nothing wrong with her. I'd love to know how all these people know this information. And how would you know? Oh, my cousin. And it's just, they're all arguing, and my fucking post, I just get noise random request or fucking messages, things on TikTok. And I'm like, fuck's sake, can you? I felt like, woman, you have to take us somewhere else. Like, take us away to fuck. But it's always good.
Take
like,
that round your own front door.
hey boy, take that round the where the fuck. But it's always good crack. Like, but as I say, it's Belfast is so small, so someone always knows someone, or like, oh, that's terrible. Leave that pure woman alone. She is a fucking public nuisance. She's a nuisance to society. She is the real public nuisance. She's on the around fucking like a lunatic,
Cracker, yeah.
fucking causing havoc.
It's a shame it's not about it anymore. She would have been a good guess for you,
I
honestly.
know. Fuck me. She might get out soon, and she'll probably be all different. She'll probably be
I think
like.
she was on a few podcasts, wasn't she?
She's on that working class.
Was she on the working class one? Nah, she was up with Jared Hughes. He used to train me. He had a video of her, and he's running with her or something. She's like, well, I don't know. She's fucking nuts. Like, that's just. Like, how do you get to that stage? What message is even she trying to deliver? I don't know. Where is a message?
Don't know. Yeah, I think
I think she obviously does like the attention. She she's smart enough to have she had a TikTok account.
Yeah,
And
100%.
she's smart enough to use a phone, and
I know that's what I'm saying.
she's
People
getting
do
all
that.
the engagement.
maybe we're all the mugs. She's just
I
taking
know.
a piss out of us.
We
you
are the
know,
mugs.
like,
People
yeah.
go on there, cons don't know what they're at.
Absolute
Fuck's sake,
social
100%.
experiment there.
Someone sent her out. She's like, she's an alien. Someone just sent her out there and says, just con the society, and we'll just pull you in back to space and say that you're sanctioned. You know what I mean? They'll laugh at us. They're fucking social experiment. Oh fuck it! But listen, as we'll wrap it up here, and big shout out again till we're gonna get this book.
You can get it
Maybe
on
better.
the Ireland Before You Die shop, but also Amazon. And
Amazon.
it's very clever in Tyre selling this, but we're trying to get it into some shops in Belfast.
Yeah, like the likes of Carl's and stuff. Or
Yeah, well, we're chatting to a few shops.
would you get like with the tourist board, or like would they not get involved in this? Like, or would they not get involved?
That's all independently funded, and like it's just a book about the 101. It's a proper Irish bucket list. Like, it's literally random. There's like a seaweed bath in there, but like some of the best hikes, best Guinness in Dublin, and it's just like 101 things you need to do in Ireland before you die. At least one place in every county. So.
That's a goal of mine. You know, like I've done a lot of counties in Ireland, but I just there's something so special about it in the wee counties, like wee towns in Ireland, where it's like fuck, it's proper Ireland. With the wee pubs, like
you can throw and get that camper van,
get the camper van, get the show on the road. That there could be
team up with Stevie.
Team up, do a wee tour in Ireland on a camper van.
Yeah.
Cause your man Chris, you know, the guy that does the run. Do you know him? Get Better with Chris.
Oh,
I done the runs with him. He done the 32 counties in 32 days running.
Unreal.
Which is class, but it's something like that. If you done it on in a wee camper, he had a camper van. Whoever was supporting him and sponsored him, got him a big class camper van, and he just travelled in that. And that's class. If you've done that and just had someone driving and you were able to go to 32 counties and just drink in different bar in the 32 counties, you'd probably need lewd liver, like, but
there you go. There's an idea for you. What's this space, folks?
Let's go. Wait till I retire and then we'll talk about it, because too much Guinness, I'll be a fat bastard. I'll be fighting Tyson Fury next. But lads, appreciate this coming.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it, mate.